This leadership quote of the week is, "Accountability is the glue that ties commitment to results." Bob Proctor. I recognize that accountability can be really hard for ourselves and others, because what that means is you are being told and held to a standard that has been set either by yourself or by the environment that you choose to say yes to be a part of. And as leaders, we recognize that there are certain standards that we have to hold ourselves to: punctuality, meeting deadlines, our behaviors, our posture, how we conduct ourselves on a regular basis. And whenever we do not fulfill that level of expectations, there has to be consequences. And that's hard to uphold or hold somebody to that particular consequence, because there's a lot of tension there. Like, that's really messy. That's also very uncomfortable to be in. But there are ways where we can step in and create that level of accountability that doesn't have to be so awkward. And a lot of it starts with ourselves. Are we holding ourselves to the same standard that we are asking other teams to be in? Are we holding ourselves to that level of expectations that we want other people to expect to be? If we model that, if we showcase that, that means people can see what the example looks like through your own action and leadership. And it makes it easier to have that conversation for other people to model the way as well. Now, it has to be agreed upon by the whole team that this is the expectation that we're going to hold ourselves to. And one ways that I've done that with my leadership is even saying, if we are asking ourselves to meet deadlines by this particular way, you invite them into that discussion to say, what do you think about this particular standard when it comes to meeting deadlines? Does 3 weeks reasonable? Is 2 weeks reasonable? 1 week? Whatever. Asking what the team invites them to share what their thoughts and perspectives are, and that creates more buy-in and more trust in the decision that's going to be made, because it's like, great, we all agree that 2 weeks is an acceptable standard for setting this expectation of meeting a deadline. Now we're going to go forth and make sure that happens. And when it doesn't happen, we can have a conversation. And when it does happen, we can have a positive conversation. Regardless, it's a greater discussion amongst the team when accountability and a standard is held across the whole board. And you as a leader is the one leading that discussion, enforcing that discussion, and enforcing the standard that is set based upon what the team says. So we shouldn't fear accountability as slapping a hand when somebody is doing wrong, or something we avoid because it's a tough conversation. What we should do is step into the space, making sure that we are the ones modeling what that level of expectation should look like, holding ourselves accountable first and foremost, and having that discussion with the rest of the team to make sure that what we are asking them to be accountable for is reasonable, it makes sense, and then they can self-enforce that amongst the team to say, we all agree this is how we're going to conduct ourselves. We all agree this is how we're going to model the way. And we have a leader who is going to showcase what that looks like on a regular basis, and can have that discussion to guide us, coach us, and reinforce that level of expectation amongst the team as a whole. So what is an expectation that you are looking to set that you would hold yourself accountable first? And then how do you have that conversation with the rest of the team to make sure we all are in agreement with that level of expectation across the board? And watch how productive and watch how strong your team becomes when there's buy-in on the expectation, because your accountability is being held to yourself first, and the team holds themselves accountable because they're watching you do it as a leader.